Perspective on Florida Gateway College Television is sponsored by Potash Corp of White Springs. Potash Corp, helping nature provide.
When you see Steve Briscoe and Wanda Jones here on Perspective, you know it's time for the Columbia County Fair. I'm Mike McKee, and my guests are Steve and Wanda. We're going to talk about the upcoming Columbia County Fair, the 31st through the 8th of November. We'll do that when we come back. Don't go away.
Registered nurse is a rewarding job. But if your career goals have you looking for more, Florida Gateway College can show you the way.
As a nurse, I love to help people.
But I wanted to go further.
With our Bachelor of Science nursing degree, RNs have the opportunity to increase their career options and income earning potential.
Now I've got more choices, and the extra money isn't bad.
Start your journey today at Florida Gateway College.
Welcome back to Perspective here on Florida Gateway College Television. I'm Mike McKee, and my guest on the program, we're going to talk about the Columbia County Fair at the Columbia County Fairgrounds, the 31st of October through the 8th. We have Wanda Jones, who is a director. She is also Madam Secretary of Columbia County Resources, and Steve Briscoe, Chairman and President. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to be back.
You've threatened every year to bring some sort of livestock in here, but evidently the wouldn't fit in your truck today. But
Well, between the truck and messing up your carpet and your, yeah.
Well, welcome. This is a fair that, for those who aren't familiar, it is an opportunity for the community to come together at the end of a long growing season, Wanda, and that's what the fair started out to be.
True.
Is folks would bring all their wares, whether it's corn or tobacco, and they would bring it to the Columbia County Fair, and it would be kind of a celebration of a year of growing.
Absolutely, and for bragging rights to see who could, grow the biggest ear of corn, or who had the best looking leaf of tobacco, and all those things. And it was just a time of a festival. So that's how the Columbia County Fair came about, and we're happy to be able to continue the tradition by maintaining some of those agricultural artifacts and contest.
Well, some of us are old enough to remember back in the day when the fair was an opportunity to show off and an opportunity to, now it's become a little bit lost, but there's still the tradition, the history.
We still have some of the agricultural traditions and the baking contest and the quilting bees and those kind of things. So we try to keep part of it as true to form as possible, but then again, it has become a little bit more commercial. So we, as the need has evolved, we've evolved with it. So
and so now when the kids are showing their steers and their hogs and their goats, they're actually able to put them on Instagram. And has it gotten to that point? I mean, your kids are grown now, so you probably have grandkids that are showing in the fair.
I do.
Are they savvy with social media? And
they're more savvy than any of us ever thought about being. I mean, and yes, there's the Instagram and Facebook, and even months ago, people have been putting pictures of their livestock that they're raising on Facebook, and you've been able to watch some of the kids' animals grow and the work they've done with them. So it's pretty amazing the technology that's available, and of course through all of that they can create a video to be able to show to their prospective buyers that are going to come out next Thursday and bid on these animals.
So this is a culmination for the 4-H kids, that this is where they show what they've worked all summer long. And talk about that. Does it start in the beginning of summer and they grow whether it's a chicken or whether it's a rabbit or any kind of...
Well, the steer projects are the first to get kicked off, and they kick off at the end of April, early May. Then we do our hogs in the summer, in the middle of July. we kicked that project off. And of course, there's all the other things that are going on at the same time where they could be raising chickens, rabbits, goats, heifers, beef or dairy heifers, all to bring to the fair. So some of these projects have been ongoing. I know some of the dairy and beef heifers that will be coming to the fair this week have been there. They were there last year, so this is going to be a return trip for them.
And this is all about teaching responsibility for young people in actually raising an animal, caring for the animal, feeding the animal, making sure it has water, and then the reward is to sell the animal for slaughter.
Correct, and a check.
And a check, and so you're looking at price per pound, and so it really teaches economics as well, because you're looking at raising an animal that is going to bring the most amount of money, so that when it gets put in the grocery store, there's an economic factor in there as well.
There is, but there's also the ability that we have to teach children about farm to table, so that that product that they're raising on the farm is going to eventually end up on somebody's table. And we have to take the precautions about making sure they feed it properly, and the medicines that are administered for prevention as well as cures are stuff that are not going to be harmful to that end product. Because the last thing we want is for somebody to eat a steak that is damaged.
Right. Well, and again, it teaches great responsibility. These kids learn, you know, the cow. I'm sure some of them name their cows, but you know, a lot of it is it's being raised for beef.
Well, and it's the commitment. It's the day-to-day commitment of being able to take care of that animal, to watch it grow, to work with it, to prevent illness, to take records, to learn about budgets and about how a bank account works, and to be able to pay bills. And it's about marketing that animal at the end of the project. They've been out for at least a month now, and they've been marketing their animal to potential buyers to get them to come next Thursday and bid on their animal. And the downside to that is that we're sort of giving these kids a warped sense of what a value of an animal is, because while cows have been consistently high this year, they're not going to bring $3 a pound yet. So it's kind of an unfair advantage, but it's the community supporting the kids to let them know, we're proud of you, you did a good job, and that's why they're going to get more than they would get at the livestock market.
And see, this is just part of the livestock portion of the fair. There's also the exhibition halls, where anybody who has, you know, whether it's the latest model of automobile, if it's an organization that is raising money for charity, they can also display what they've done during the year and actually get to talk to potential customers.
Well, it is. The fair is always that great opportunity for PR work. You know, whether you're a business, a nonprofit, civic group, etc. A lot of churches, they see the opportunities with the fair. I mean, we're drawing 30,000 plus folks into the fair over a 9-day period. And so it's a great opportunity to show and tell the wares, and just promote, whether it's a church activity, whether it's a business. So the exhibit halls are always full. We're very fortunate that we usually end up with a waiting list of those that are wanting to get in. Sometimes we think we need to build another exhibit building.
Yeah, and I think the term is, if you're not at the fair, you're square, right?
Yeah.
But because there is, it really is something to see, and it's not just a kids thing. There are a lot of things for kids. You know, you mostly think of the fair as a midway with rides and cotton candy and caramel apples and soda and just, you know, it's fair.
Yeah.
The fair was a rite of passage. You know, a lot of times that's where you went when you were in high school. You went to the fair, and you went to the fair a lot of that week that it was in town.
Well, you know, everybody has their reasons for coming to the fair. The younger ones, the kids, yes, it's the rides. To others, it's the shows. And but to a lot of folks, it's simply that time of year that they know they can go, and they're going to run into all the people they haven't seen since the fair last year. You know, and it's a perfect opportunity. And I hear that so much from people that, you know, I enjoy coming out to the fair. I just walk to exhibit halls. I see friends, I see faces I haven't seen in a year or two, and it's just a great time to socialize. And get the best hot dog or the corn dog in town.
You know,
and see great shows.
I know someone who goes just for the corn dog.
Yeah.
The best corn dog you
Guilty.
get is at the fair. I mean, the
always-
best sausage dog, the best, whether it's a nice hamburger that you always go to get that one thing that you only get once a year, and they can only do it. You could try it at home, but there's nothing like getting it
You
at the fair.
can't replicate
right.
that. It's not as good. If you buy it anywhere else, it's not as good as if you get it right there at the fairgrounds.
Well, fried food is fried food, but at the fair, it's just special.
Now, Steve, you've got people that have come back for 20 years that
Yes.
have been, they love this fair so much, and they've been like, well, I got to go see so-and-so and get my fix of sausage or hamburger or pizza or whatever it is. They come back just to do that.
Well, they do. I can't tell you how many times at the gate we've had people, I just want to go in and get sausage dog. I just want to go in and get, X, Y, Z. That they're there just to pick up a plate of food, if you will. And but I tell you, Mike, we are very, very fortunate. You have your food vendors out on the Midway that are actually booked by the Midway, and then you have our food court that we book in, and it's our independent food court. And we're very, very proud of the fact that we have probably a dozen plus to have 20, 25, over 30 years of being at the Columbia County Fair. And these are vendors that we become friends with. We see every year. We look forward to their visit. They work hand in hand with us, but every food joint you see in that independent court, our committee, we're not afraid to eat from any of them because we know them. We know how meticulous they are about their food, about the cleanness, and so we're proud of our food vendors.
Yeah, and Carrie just mentioned to me that we've got some video we wanted to show, and let's describe this. I'm not sure whether this was last year or the year before, but we've got obviously the rides. Now you've got a new Midway that's going to be here this year.
Yes, we do.
So you might not you'll see similar rides to this, but it won't be the same vendor.
Correct.
Now I would love to go check that area underneath that ride after the night is over, because I'm sure lots of change is falling out of people's
That's
pockets.
why we're a little late leaving sometimes, looking for pocket
Well, you
change.
notice, and you look at the jackets. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It normally signifies a change in seasons. When when the fair's in town, it means fall is here, and winter. There's another. Did you ever do this? Did you ever do this?
No. Not that one.
Would I ever do that?
I definitely would make sure I hadn't eaten
I did
anything.
the slingshot 250 foot straight up.
Now this is the teacup.
This is where you and I ride, Mike.
Yeah, this is where we.
And even that, I get a little dizzy.
Now those are the locals, right?
Yes, this is our independent court here.
Just looking at that makes me want to have a steak sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Again, these rides, there's something for every age group at the Columbia County Fair.
We are. We're proud that
Now
we.
that
with our
obviously,
show.
and that right there is, you wouldn't want to put a 4-year-old on one of these things.
But actually, we have a kiddie ride similar to that a 4-year-old can get on.
Really?
Yep. Doesn't go near as fast.
I think part of this was some NASA training. I think they did some training for the astronauts. But I
who
mean,
doesn't want to go out and just, if you do nothing but watch?
Oh, here
we go. We're
Now-
displaying all of our local exhibitors,
now those quilts are done by
local people,
local ladies.
and men and women.
Men do quilting? I didn't know that.
They quilt, they cross stitch, they bake, oh yeah.
Now, talk about quilting. Quilting is not using, some of it is using the same material, but in the old days, quilting was taking rags or clothes that had torn, and you made a blanket out of that.
Patchwork.
Right.
And so there are actually classes that go on. I know that
There are.
Columbia Senior Services does classes in quilting.
And there's a quilting guild that's around that does things like that. But, local people, that's what they do. They love to sew, they love to quilt, or we have some of the best cooks in the county, in the world here, I think. They're canning, they're making pickles, they're making jams, jellies. They're putting up tomatoes from their garden in the spring, and then again they're also making some cakes and some pies and some biscuits and some bread. And so, you know, they're entering that stuff, they're bringing it to the fairgrounds, it's being judged, and it's going to be on display. So you, if nothing else, if you're new to a hobby, you want to start something, quilting, cross-stitching, recycled materials, making things from things. So there's just so much to come and look at in our exhibit buildings.
Yeah, and again, there are people that do pickles that have a recipe that is just, when you can say, I was a grand prize winner at the Columbia County Fair, that's a great marketing tool for, you know, mine are so good it won first place.
Exactly, and usually those recipes have been handed down from generation to generation. So it's grandma's pickle recipe that I'm using, and it's still winning a blue ribbon. Awesome, awesome memories.
Well, that's it. We still have the Aunt B's, if you will.
Yeah, well, and if I recall that episode, Aunt B's pickles were not really good, but everybody pretended that they were good. But no, that's great. When you think about Mayberry and you think about the way,
Sure.
This is a typical way. Now, when is judging? Are there deadlines? Have we passed the deadlines?
We passed all the deadlines. Yeah,
So
it's too late for any of that. So, and the judging has taken place.
Judging has taken place, so you've got people, and the County Extension Office is a great resource for judging and getting people interested in doing this type of thing. So if you had a Yankee that came down from New York, moved to town, knew nothing about canning, there would be someone who could help them get involved in that.
Absolutely. There's a home economist at the County Extension Office who can do that, has recipes and canning tips for you as well. So there's plenty of that stuff available here locally, but you're not limited to that. I mean, we're in the age of technology. Google it.
That's true. You know, I've had kids come up to me and they learn how to, I said, how'd you learn how to play golf? Watched a video on the internet.
Play Wii.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's, you know. But anyway, I mean, it's true, you can, but this gets you back to the old days. You know,
Takes you to another place in time, a slower time.
Right, where we're not constantly texting, we're not constantly doing stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Just, you know, don't you just love to just turn your devices off and can some peaches for a while? But anyway, so that's a good part of the fair that you can see as an old timer. You can go through the exhibit halls. You said the Midway is brand new.
Yes.
Bigger, better than ever. Different company is going to be.
Yeah, we have a new Midway provider, Paradise Amusement, and you know, and I really hate to use that bigger and better, but it is better. You know, we're very excited with Paradise Amusement. We've looked at their midways at other fairs. Great rides, very clean, well lit, and bringing some newer stuff that we've not had in the past. So, yes, come to the fair this year. You're going to see a change, and not only with the midway, but throughout the fair. We got some great entertainment coming in as well.
Yeah, let me get back to the entertainment.
Okay.
We've got a petting zoo again this year.
We do have a petting zoo coming back this year.
How important is that for kids that may have never seen a live goat? I mean, there are kids that live in our community that may have never been exposed to a rabbit or a goat or a chicken, or they're obviously not going to pet a chicken, but you're going to have turkeys on display. You're going to have all kinds of different animals that kids can get up close and personal with.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be able to see those animals live and in person. And though you may not be able to touch all of them because the ones in the livestock barn are not for touching, at the petting zoo you're going to see some exotic animals that you don't normally see out in our area. There are going to be all kinds of, there's going to be some monkeys, and I'm not talking about Steve, I'm talking about, you know, the real monkeys, and there's going to be those kind of animals there that you're going to be able to get a first-hand look at, and to be able to see them and to possibly feed some of them. So that'll be a fun thing to do at the fair.
Now, there's some other fun things that are going on. You're going to have helicopter rides. Talk about that. This is something that this first time you're going to have helicopter rides.
Yeah, real excited with. We've contracted with a company out of Orlando. It's going to come up, so they'll be up there all 9 days of the fair, doing helicopter rides for the first time at Columbia County Fair, or first time in years. You know, and he's keeping his price very, very reasonable. It's only $20. He's going to do 2 rounds around Lake Cities for aerial shots. And so it's going to be great. We're excited with the fact the helicopter rides.
And there's some, for the older kids, you know, you got little rides for little kids and big rides, but then you got something that people are, used to have rock wall climbing.
Yeah.
Now we're going to do laser tag. We've got laser tag.
Well, this year I knew laser tag, you know, like paintball, so it's going to be laser tag. And I've had a lot of good response with this. A lot of people, a lot of the, and I can't say just kids, a lot of the adults have shared with me that that's cool. They'd like to, they've never done paintball before or laser tag. And so this is a way of giving it a shot. So we will have laser tag at the fair.
You can actually learn how old you really are
That's
after
right.
doing laser tag, because you're going to have to move.
Yeah. And we'll be putting some challenges out there. So
Now, I see something on the, you got a little brochure that's going out in the community, the Ultimate Dog Show.
Yep.
Now that is not just where they're at the American Kennel Club
No.
and they're where they prance them around. These are dogs that actually run, jump, do things.
Yeah,
that,
they'll be flying. They're trick dogs with their trainers, and they'll be doing some amazing tricks. You know, flying through the air, frisbee, interacting with the audience, and you know, something really new. We wanted to. We've been on a good ride with the entertainment we bring in. Try to bring you stuff fresh, up to date, and this dog show really impressed us. So I think we're going to get a lot of good attaboys with the entertainment.
And you've got folks that have been back. Ron Diamond has been here many, many times, but he always impresses the audience. He's a kind of a mind reader type guy.
Ron's hypnosis, and I say it every year, if we don't bring Ron Diamond back, we better leave town. You know, Ron continues to grow. He continues to pack out with every show. You've been to the fair, you know what I'm talking about. It's audience participation. So every show is different, and Ron is a part of family anymore. And I can't see doing a show without him or a fair without him.
And you guys are bringing back the Sweeney family band.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, our cousins are coming back.
Yeah, you know, I saw them up at. I didn't get a chance to see them at the fair last year, but I saw them up at Spirit of the Swanee Music Park at the Swanee River Jam.
Yeah.
What a crazy bunch of guys!
They
I mean,
are.
you look at what Hee Haw was back in the day. These guys are Hee Haw.
They are sweet old hillbillies, but very comical. You're going to catch them both as a stage show and also roaming the grounds. And they love to interact. They love kids. And it's going to be a show that once you see that show, you're going to want to come back and catch it again, because it is. If you enjoy Hee Haw, you're going to enjoy the Sweeney Family Band.
Yeah, I did an interview with them up there at the park, and they said that Little Buck,
Yeah.
who is not really little, and when you see him, I don't know how he got the nickname, but he said he hurt his toe. He's kind of walking around with a limp, and he says, we need to call a tow truck. And you know, that was extremely corny, but it gave you a chuckle, because
Yeah.
you kind of weren't expecting it, and when he said it, it was like, yeah, that is kind of funny. Because, you know, I think that type of humor is gone from our society. If we're not
is,
swearing, you know, in a comedy routine, it's not funny to people anymore. But this will bring you back to the days where you kind of had to think about what they were talking about.
Clean family fun though.
Right. You're bringing back the tractor pull, the kids'
Oh,
tractor
yeah.
pull again this year.
Yes,
Talk
we
about
are.
that.
Here again, you know, it's become so popular. This will be their fourth year back with us, the kids pedal tractor pull, and it's where basically kids compete against each other on a foot pedal John Deere tractor, pull on a weighted sled. And so Kyle comes down every year with it. A great guy himself. Really puts on a good show and loves interacting with the kids. Kids love it. So we just feel like we got to continue with it because it's so popular.
Yeah, you know, you're looking at the entertainment, and it's the 31st through the 8th, 9 days
Yeah.
of entertainment. So if you can't make one day, this will be going on all through the fair.
Right, and all of that stuff is free.
Yes.
Once you pay your admission, you're free. So you can watch all those things, stay around all day, watch it 2 or 3 times.
Well, you know, that's the beauty of it. $5. You got 5 shows. You've got the exhibit buildings. You've got the petting zoo. You've got the livestock barn. All the exhibits.
We also want to talk about the promotion with Comcast, giving away the car. There will be chances to win a car, but also proceeds will go to Tough Enough to Wear Pink.
Okay, well, it's not giving away the car. You know, the car is part of the
Right.
promotion, and basically, well, first of all, thanks with Florida Gateway College, S&S Food Stores. I can't think of all the sponsors right offhand that are participating with Comcast. With it's the whole month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and basically Comcast has come up with this great promotional tool for not only the sponsor but to bring awareness for breast cancer. And we're going to wrap it up Saturday the 8th here at the Columbia County Fair with Pink Night. And we're going to encourage everybody to come dressed in pink. And during this whole promotion, though, it is a fundraiser for Tough Enough to Wear Pink, and we'll do a presentation of just how much money this whole promotion has raised.
You're going to be doing a food drive. You've got November 4th, which is Election Day. You're doing a special 2 armbands for $25, and that gets you on rides.
Yep, that's Clip and Save night. With any Clip and Save coupon, the armbands are $20 this year, but on Tuesday night, Clip and Save coupon, $25 for 2.
All right, and if you'd like more information about anything going on at the Columbia County Fair, which is the 31st through it starts Halloween. I'm sure there'll be people dressed up.
Oh yes, some trick-or-treating going on.
After you go to the homecoming game, you can go to the fair on the 31st, Friday night. If you'd like more information, 752-8822. Talk to Linda Dowling, or log on to columbiacountyfair.org. It's a .org address. You'll see everything you need to know, admissions, times and places that things will be going on, and what time the fair opens, what time the fair closes, and sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's always fun, always fun.
For a whole week, it's nothing but fun. There will be nothing but smiles that week, by order of President Steve Briscoe. He decreed it right here.
So let it
on
be
Florida
written.
Gateway
And no new
College.
taxes.
Good luck, guys. Look forward to being out there with you
Thank
the
you,
week
Mike.
of the 31st
Thanks.
through November 8th. Hope you enjoyed the program. Please go to the Columbia County Fair and support Tough Enough to Wear Pink while you're there. Till next time, I'm Mike McKee. So long.